There are many Chinese budget brands that have a reputation as being very bad, and I would be one of the first to admit this. You really have to go through the chaff to find the wheat. But then this tends to paint all Chinese budget brands with the same brush, which is just not true. Once you do some digging, you find that there are some real gems at some low prices. I found Jaragar to be one of those watches that does offer a lot of promise. Today we're looking at the Jaragar A034. So let's have a look at this thing. Good day to you all, and welcome back to another BBW review. Today we have the Jaragar A034 automatic. Now Jaragar are, I think, under the same umbrella as Forcening and Winner and a few other popular brands. Jaragar seem to design their watches with a more classic bent, as in this one. But first, before we look at the dial, we'll go through the basic dimensions. So you have a 41mm diameter across the dial, a 47.5mm lug to lug. So for a thick watch, it's quite compact on the wrist there. A 21.5mm lug to lug. Now this is something I couldn't understand. As a disclaimer, this is not the original strap, and you can probably tell by the toothy gaps. The actual leather strap is actually quite a nice strap. Now the leather strap is 22mm, that fits fine, and this 21.5mm steel bracelet also fits fine. But I'd say it's safe to say that when you're choosing straps, go for a 22mm. This one does narrow down to a 18mm. But the height, I have a problem with the height. It's 14.7mm from the extended base, as you can see here, to the top mineral dome crystal. 14.7mm. I do think that's a bit excessive. And as you can see, it looks like it could be cut down by at least 3.5mm to keep it a normal size. It is kind of base heavy there. The weight on the leather strap is 138 grams. With the steel strap, I won't tell you because you won't be getting a steel strap when you buy the watch. On the right of the watch, you have one crown, two pushers. The crown is quite a big crown, it's 6mm, and the pushers are about 4.5mm. The case itself is a standard chrome plated alloy. Now let's focus on the main part, which is this dial. As you can see, it is a textured dial. Let's try and focus a bit more there. So you can see the textured dial there with 3 subdials. From the outside, under that domed crystal, you have, on the chapter ring, you have numerals every 5 minutes. In between the numerals, you have printed minute markers, and within the minute markers you have seconds, some very small buttons for the second markers. Below the 12 you have the applied Jaragar logo, which I think is a pair of extended wings. Now, going through the subdials individually, the top button or the top pusher goes through numbers 1 to 7. The bottom pusher extends the 3 o'clock subdial, where the numbers go from 1 to 31. So this is obviously going to be the days of the month. Back to the top again, 1 to 7, I have no idea what that is. And the subdial, the 6, is clearly a 24-hour dial, which moves automatically from 0 to 24 hours. Now, the numbers themselves, the numbers clearly are copied from Longines with their simple yet classic curls. I can't think of many other numbers on a dial that are chosen and can be so easily associated with a particular watch brand. Perhaps you can get the numerals on a Rolex Explorer that are easily recognizable, or the numbers on a Panerai Luminar, which are so easily recognizable. Another one clearly is the Longines, again with their classic curls on the numbers. So respect to Longines for having such a classic design on their numbers. And obviously Jaragar also appreciated that fact. Let's zoom out a bit now. The handset is, I'm not sure if you can see this on the video, is a very simple, but again classic, blued, kind of sword-shaped hand, quite long enough for the minute hand. The out hand is okay, and you have this fine stick hand for the seconds. The subdials are also blued, not heat treated, but just coloured blue. Now I think everything on the dial, from the Longines numbers to the textured patterned face and the quite detailed subdials with their blued handsets on both the subdials and the main dial, are done to add some kind of classic style to the watch as a whole. And I think this is for Jaragar to set the watch or raise the watch above its station, which I think it does. I should state that this watch costs $16, and looking at it, even in fine detail, it does not look like a $16 watch. It also doesn't feel like a $16 watch. It feels very solid, very compact, but looking at the face, very classic and well designed. Now onto the back, you have of course your screw down case, which is stainless steel. There's no water resistance given, which means it has a standard 30 meters or 3 ATM. The details around the edge, mechanical stainless steel, and the designation A458, which is also known as a A034. I'm not sure why they changed these numbers from the actual numbers on the watch to the actual numbers printed on the brochure. Anyway, as you can see, you have the balance wheel going back and forwards. It's a 21,600 beats per hour movement with a 36-hour power reserve. But obviously that can change because of the bi-directional rotor. So if you're wearing this watch all day, that 36 hours will continue onto the next day, as long as the watch is in movement, and this is the case for any bi-directional watch. Sorry, any bi-directional rotor watch. I haven't tested the 36 hours, but I believe it's so. It has a standard Shanghai movement, which is 17 joules. These are real workhorses. I have about 40 containing this movement, and out of the 40 watches containing the Shanghai standard, I have had 0 problems, and I find them to be really sturdy. They may not be COSC certified regarding accuracy, but I can trust them that they're going to work time and time again. So they're quite basic. They're not the most beautifully represented movements, but they do work and work and work. And back to the front. So I won't go into the bracelet because this is an OEM bracelet. If you watched any of my videos before, you'll notice, or you may remember, that as soon as I get a new watch, I remove the strap and slap on a stainless steel slap watch. But the band it comes with is actually a really nice black leather strap, which I have no problems with, but it's just my habit to always use stainless steel straps. And the leather one actually fits a lot better than this one does. Anyway, let's have a look at this on the wrist. So here it is in all its glory. I don't know why I'm doing a wrist roll when you will not be getting this bracelet, but anyway. And the profile shot. So 47.5 millimeters. So there it is. Now for the $16 packed and sent from Shenzhen in China, I think Jaragar have done a really good job of trying to make a watch at such a budget price look more premium than the cost would suggest. They have a lot of classic design features, again, especially the numbers borrowed from the Longines, the nice delicate blued hands, the textured dial, and on the face of it, most of the design features you see on the dial. But obviously there are some compromises, and one being how thick this watch really is. I don't understand why. I have many other automatics that are much thinner than this and contain the same functions. So I'm not sure why Jaragar had to make such a bulky watch. But for $16, that's a compromise that I'm willing to accept. And let's just wait till it moves forward again to get a nice shot there. So if you are considering buying this watch, don't do what I did. Keep to the black leather strap. It does look much nicer and you don't get that toothy gap at the top. But I just like stainless steel straps. And I think to match the classic design of this dial, the black leather strap does look better. But there you go, another mistake I always make. Well, that's it for today. Thanks for watching, and I hope to see you again with another watch on the green chair. Until then, take it easy.